Good evening. Police are investigating allegations that a woman was raped as a child by the Catholic priest who claimed to have had an affair with murder victim Angelika Kluk. Lawyers say there are at least 2 other victims. One of the women told the BBC she was raped 30 to 40 times by Father Jerry Nugent, who died in 2010. The Catholic Church in Scotland has apologised, but it denies there were any allegations of child abuse made during Nugent's time as priest. However, the BBC understands he was sent for assessment in 1995 after an anonymous allegation that he had raped a woman. Our correspondent Lucy Adams has this report.
Around the time of my 13th birthday, he raped me and continued to do so for 2 years on a regular basis.
Teresa has kept silent about the abuse she suffered for almost 40 years. She says her abuser was Father Jerry Nugent, a well-known, charismatic figure within the community. He came into the public eye in 2006 following the disappearance of Polish student Angelika Kluk.
This was a whole new family that she had. She integrated herself into the family well. She was a very devout Catholic, would come to Mass.
Her murderer, Peter Tobin, had been working as a handyman at Father Nugent's church. During the trial, Father Nugent told the court he'd had an affair with Angelika. Partly as a result, he was removed from post the day Tobin was sentenced. Father Nugent died in 2010. The Catholic Church says it is truly sorry and that Father Nugent was removed from parish ministry as soon as the extent of his inappropriate sexual behaviour with adults became apparent in 2007. It added that allegations relating to minors only emerged after his removal. The Church says it's transformed its safeguarding procedures and now employs professional advisors and 10,000 volunteers to help ensure present and future generations will be kept safe. But Teresa says that's not good enough. Lucy Adams, reporting Scotland.
2 people have been seriously injured in a crash involving a car and a coach near Loch Lomond. Emergency services were called to the scene between Ardennes and Tarbert early this afternoon. The road is expected to stay closed for some time. Stop the rollout and fix it. That's the message from Scottish ministers to the UK government about its flagship welfare scheme, Universal Credit. It follows a damning report by the spending watchdog, the National Audit Office, which says Universal Credit has caused hardship for many people and will probably never deliver value for money. Our social affairs correspondent Rival Alderson looks at the impact of Universal Credit in Scotland.
East Lothian. 2 years ago, the first area in Scotland to launch Universal Credit, a scheme replacing 6 existing benefits. Charities have been monitoring its effects.
People who move from employment support allowance to universal credit are finding significant losses to their benefits, sometimes up to the tune of £146 a week, because of the changes to universal credit and the fact that it doesn't actually account for people who have disability.
Universal Credit's reserved to Westminster, but the Scottish Government has some devolved social security powers. It administers the Scottish Welfare Fund, providing a safety net for people on low incomes, and makes discretionary housing payments, which include mitigating the effects of the so-called bedroom tax. But it's gaining responsibility over the next year for 11 other benefits. Charities say food bank use has increased dramatically where Universal Credit's been introduced. The Scottish Government says that's why the rollout should be halted.
They've been getting told this for 2 years now. Surely they will listen to their National Audit Office and stop the rollout of Universal Credit, go and fix it in both in policy terms, stop freezing these benefits, and in terms of how it is delivered before you cause more hardship to more people.
The UK government says it's building a benefits system for the 21st century, with claimants getting into work faster and staying longer. Rival Alderson, reporting Scotland.
The Institute of Fiscal Studies believes the new blueprint for the public finances of an independent Scotland would mean a tighter squeeze on spending than the rest of the UK faces. The think tank was responding to the SNP's Growth Commission, which made a new economic case for independence. It's been criticised for recommending a government spending squeeze lasting up to 10 years. Celtic have broken their transfer signing record by spending in excess of £8 million to secure Paris Saint-Germain striker Osdon Edouard on a 4-year contract. The 20-year-old was on loan at Celtic last season, scoring 11 goals in 29 appearances. The deal to make his move permanent eclipses the £6 million spent on both Chris Sutton and John Hartson. Andy Murray has been practising at the Queen's Club this afternoon to gauge whether he's fit enough to return to competition next week. The 31-year-old hasn't played competitively since Wimbledon last year. Later this evening, he'll announce whether or not he'll take part in the event. Let's see what we can expect from the weather now. Here's Christine.
Thank you very much, Sally. Good evening to you. It's been a fairly cloudy and showery day across much of the country. Certainly the lion's share of the sunshine has been across parts of the Highlands and the island. Now this evening, many of the showers will fade away. A dry night will follow. The clearest skies will be across parts of the east and northeast. A fairly chilly night in prospect here. Otherwise, a good deal of cloud and some rain just beginning to fringe in towards western coastal areas come the end of the night. That will be accompanied by a freshening southerly breeze. Temperatures typically holding up between around 8 to 11 Celsius. Now tomorrow and indeed across the rest of the next few days, low pressure close by to Scotland and these weather fronts coming our way. Indeed, that rain will continue to journey its way in from the west, crossing through central and eastern Scotland during the course of the day. The driest and sunniest conditions will be in the morning across the north of Scotland. Following that rain, some heavy thundery showers tomorrow afternoon, perhaps less so across the Northern Isles with some good spells of sunshine here. Those showers though affecting many parts of the north and northeast. Perhaps some rain holding on through Fife, the Lothians and the Borders for a time tomorrow afternoon. And in the west, a mixture of bright or sunny spells and a scattering of heavy showers, and temperatures certainly nothing to write home about, around 13 to 16 degrees on the cool side for the middle of June. Into the evening and that rain pulls away into the North Sea and the showers will die out, leaving a dry night. By Sunday, a good deal of cloud around, especially in the west, with perhaps some light and patchy rain. The best of the sunshine on Sunday will be in the east. That's the forecast. Sally.
Thanks very much, Christine. That's Reporting Scotland. I'll be back with the late bulletin just after the 10 o'clock news. Until then, good evening.